Welcome everybody, it's tractorchute here for the final submission of the Friday challenge, or at least the final submission I have as of yet. I will check later on here. So, let's get this baby going. In the upper right hand corner, it is the man playing as symbols. It will be the Red Terran. Red Terran will be played by symbols. In the lower left hand corner, it is our blue Protoss. From our submission man, it is Barcode. Barcode will be our blue Protoss. This will be the final video, which will have the scoring and the next challenge announced at the end of this video. So stay tuned. Let's get this baby going. Start off, it looked like he did want to build a pylon, but elected to build it in a little bit different of a location. So he will plant that baby down right beside his base. Looks like he's going to want to wall that middle line off. It is about 52 to 14, both of you guys fairly standard as far as their APM goes for their level. We will take a look at the Proto tab, which shows us we have the standard wall off happening over here. Yes, we do. Very well done by symbols. Yeah, HD graphics. You betcha there, Barcode. Enjoying those HD graphics today, he is. Supply Depot will finish up here. Opponent is a little bit confused. I'm about as confused as you are. But fair enough, Barcode's maybe off in his own little land here, enjoying the HD graphics. Forge end up going down there. And we'll get the scouting probe coming out of Barcode here. He's going to head right outside the base there. In the meantime, he's just going to continue to finish this wall off here as he's getting the barracks going down as well. And apparently that's the resolution that he plays on. There you guys go. If you ever want to know what resolution Barcode plays on, is 1920 by 1080. Very good information there. He writes, yeah, I'm sure that makes a lot of sense to the guy that is writing in English, but fair enough. That is says something pretty funny, I'm pretty darn sure here. So he will head himself into the base here. It does look like he is going to get right through that wall fairly easily. He's going to go see what the opponent has, which is a nice early gas. And he is sending out another one here to build a supply depot or do some scouting. Looks like it is a supply depot SCV, more than likely to finish that wall. Or not. Maybe he's going to elect to go back there, maybe chase that probe around a little bit. Where did our little probe go? Oh, he's planting a proxy. Not entirely sure why you would proxy pylon when we're going for the... unless you want to cannon build and take it out. We did have that happen by Jaw triple with his spine car win, which was very impressive. Went up very... it was actually the first challenge session that went up today there. So he's continuing to chase that probe around the base there. He will elect to get one cannon down, so this is going to be a little bit of a cannon rush. So one cannon goes down for Barcode. In the meantime, back at his base here, you can see he's getting also a cannon in the mineral line in case he gets a few Marines in there early. Oh, wow, did he ever force a lot off the line here? They're trying to go to work. He's also getting himself down a gateway. Good job. It allows him to not surround that cannon at all there. So cannon might actually get up, might get 1 or 2 kills. I'm not too sure. It's going to be very close, to be honest with you. If it does get up, it won't do a whole lot as the Marine is now going to work on it as well here. So it does finish up there, and we'll see whether or not it gets 1 kill. Might get 1 or 2 kills if it's lucky. There's 1, and there's 2. And don't think it's going to get that 3rd one. Oh, it will get a 3rd one, so it kills 1 Marine and a couple SCVs. Don't know if that was worth it in the end. Very, very close. If you take a look at it, it's about 150. So I guess it did pay for itself here. Gateway, I imagine, is going to cancel pretty soon because that's really not going to do him a whole lot of good as it is just finishing up at this point. Yes, he does cancel. Very well done. So that didn't work so well for him. So Barcode's going to have to go back to the drawing board and see what he wants to build out of that here, as we do have 2 barracks. Second barracks will be slowly building there while he continues to queue up way too many SCVs. Realizes that, so he unqueues a few of them. Did put everybody back to work there, and we'll put the couple of Marines working and get himself down a gateway at the other end for Barcode, as well as the 1 gas going down. He is expanding, so as Forge Fast expand, a very, very good move. Always probably the best move out of a cannon rush, I will say that. Especially when you have the ability to guard that with a few cannons here, should fend off any sort of counterattack. So second barracks will slowly finish up there. In the meantime there, he does have a command center going down as well. Is it always like that? Isn't that weird? If you look down where it shows the actual building picture there, it's blue. I'm a little bit surprised. I was just looking at that, and I looked up and it's not blue. What does it show on the other end? Shows theirs as pretty normal. Yeah, I don't know. I would like it if it was more color coded as to what you're building. You know, maybe show the building as red. Because look, that looks like a blue command center, and he's red. I don't know if that's getting a little bit too nitpicky, but either way, I don't know. Just something that caught my eye there. So the probe does get out of there. Doesn't elect to plant down any more sort of proxies or cannon rushing. So we'll get right back on the base here and try to get that saturated up at the natural, as he is pretty much fully saturated at the main. Gets a few going on the gas. We'll probably mine out that second gas pretty soon, as the cyber core is going to get built by somebody that's pretty darn far away. There we go. He finally gets that one down there. And a few more cannons will go up as well there. So he's going to start on the cannons, putting them in a very nice location to prevent any sort of drops from coming in this direction. Very smart move there. And we do have ourselves a second barracks coming down the ground here. So both barracks will sit on the lower ground to make a little bit of a wall. Bunker is a little bit far back. But either way, there he goes. He is backing up one of them at least. And he does cancel the add-on there. And he'll get a tech lab out of the one. I don't know if he wants to move this wall a little bit further back. Is probably his idea, I would have to imagine. As the bunker, like I say, is a little bit out of position as to where he has his barracks to wall that off. In the meantime, there we do have one gas going down at the expansion. Pylons going down at the same time. Once again, another submission out of Protoss. So it's very heavy Protoss day. One Terran and one Zerg game as well. So very interesting. I do have the challenge for next week as well. And I don't know. It's a pretty decent one. It'll be another one that basically anybody can do. It might be a little bit challenging. We'll soon find out. So there's going to be reactor going on. Tech lab there. Not looking too shabby. Another barracks going down for a third barracks. Has himself a factory. Factory's going in tech lab. He's going to go tanks. It might be another standard Terran turtle. Yes, it is. So he's going to get some few tanks out there. Has another SCV building. Has both those gases fully saturated. 15 workers on the minerals up there. Well, oh, no rally point up here. Happens to the best of us, my good man. So finally does realize that. No, he hasn't realized it yet. So I have to imagine he's going to start a rally point at some point, or maybe he's not too sure how to do so. So he'll continue to build SCVs that are all going to stand at the front, and he will manually move over, and he does. Maybe he doesn't realize you can rally point him, as he's actually clicking on them right when they come out and putting them over there and still not rally pointing. But fair enough, Symbols. We all learn at our own pace, so maybe that's not quite something that you have learned as of yet. Let's see. No, he does have a rally point for the barracks. So very curious why he enjoys manually moving his SCVs over there. I don't know. Could be doing a challenge of his own. Does have the scouting marine over here, the sacrificial marine as we like to call him. We'll head himself over. And we do have the Naga Tower owned by Barcode there. He's not going to get too far as we do have a lot of cannons on the map here. 10 cannons already, only at the 9-minute mark, so looking pretty good as far as that count goes. Oh, he's going to try and get in there, try his best, gets shot once. That's enough to detour him. He's going to head back out, might try it one more time. He has enough room to get in there. Yes, oh, not quite enough room, but he gets up anyways there. So we'll come over here. Of course, he will die right away to the sentry and the stalker. And there he goes. He does end up going down. Doesn't get a whole lot of intel by no means here. Some more cannons going down, double gateway, so we're working on 2 gateway, and the Cybercore getting out the warp gate technology for him, so looking pretty good there. Cannon count is about to increase up to about 12 or 13. I'm not too sure how many he's got producing right now, but we'll find out in a second. And we have supply blocked ourselves of Symbols here, so Symbols might want to start paying a little bit more attention to the supply depot count. And he does have a couple more buildings, so a little bit behind on those. Those just started not too long ago, so I want to keep an eye on that throughout the match here. Make sure he doesn't supply block himself too many times. In the meantime, they're definitely not Artos' pylon anything here. He's got lots of pylons supporting all his buildings. Very well done there. And we're getting into Stargate tech. It is Stargate day. Wowzer. I think every Protoss game we've seen, it has been very heavy on the Sky Toss. Nothing wrong with that. It just seems very odd. We're getting a lot of Sky Toss games today. There we go. We are getting ourselves down a second assimilator. Getting down another pylon to try and help power up these cannons that are currently down there. Does have himself up to 14 cannons now. Opponent in the meantime, if we take a look at his good old unit tab, you can see he has a couple Marauders, 13 Marines, and a tank out there. Pretty much got himself set up for a nice little turtle type game. This siege tank not in a bad position, sitting just off the ledge there, so he can't quite be reached from the ground unless they're right up against the cliff there. So looking pretty skookum so far. Does he have himself an engineer? Bro, are going double Stargate. Well, heavy on the Stargate. Definitely wants to go heavy on the Medivacs apparently, or he might be electing to get a few Vikings out. They're very viable against most Protoss builds. They definitely help against a Colossi, which is fairly common against Terran. And then, of course, he could also help with the Skytoss army, which he does not know is going to happen. Not that it is going to happen. He only has one Stargate, but we'll find out. There you go, Voids. So we're elected to start out with a Void Ray out of that baby here. So I do have one Warp Gate. The other one hasn't quite got to that point, but I'm sure Barcode will figure that out pretty quick here. And he's just starting the wall off up here. A couple more cannons going down. We're going to start balling up at the middle line as well here. Start getting himself a few more cannons. Gets himself a third out, couple more gas on that. Looking pretty skookum so far here. Opponent in the meantime looks like he wants to go down and expand in the third location. Wouldn't be too surprising if he takes out the rocks over here, but maybe not. Doesn't even have anybody in the bunker, so not entirely sure if he's paying too much attention over there, but he is definitely paying attention to his supply cap one more time. He has supply blocked himself. Definitely needs to keep an eye on that. He's got to keep building those, man. There's twice in this game he's supply blocked himself. Engineering bay finally going down here. So we'll start to see some upgrades coming out. There we go. Medivacs with no rally point. And finally has rallied this over to the gas. Let's see how many he gets going into the gas before he realizes this here. Sorry, just had a nice little drink of my energy drink. Once again, another Rockstar. This is a Bubble Berry. Kind of feminine, but it's not that bad at all, actually. Yeah, there we go, at 6 on the gas there. Only 2 on this one. Wonder if you realized that yet. Obviously not. I wouldn't have to imagine. In the meantime, there at the front gate, he's got a fairly skookum Marine Marauder army. Has the third finishing up over there. Down at the other end, if we take a look, we have a lot of buildings coming down. It's going to be gateway, gateway, gateway. Okay, maybe not quite Sky Toss heavy army, as he only has 2 Stargates going, a lot of gateways, and a robo facility. So it could be fairly interesting. Might get a good mix of pretty much everything in his army. In the meantime, we pay attention over here. He's still got just the 2 medevacs on the field. A little bit surprised he hasn't put a reactor on one of those if he's going medevacs. A couple standing SCVs there. Going to get herself down another couple more barracks. Very well done there. Second tank is up there. Isn't quite sieged up as of yet, but he is definitely standing up there. Not too sure if those HD comments and resolution comments confuse the opponent. Because he's got a lot of weird objects standing around the map, not doing much. There we go. Medevacs is finally realized. Siege tank hopefully would be the next one realized the siege tank up. Where are the medevacs going? Alright, medevacs finally get back into a much better position. Still hasn't filled the bunker up, but he does have that option if he ever chooses to do so. Command center finishes over here. No rally point on it, and SCV standing there. Not surprised. Fair enough. Overly saturated base over here as well, so might want to get a few of them going on the gas, which I have to imagine is going to happen fairly quickly here. Let's go back to our building tab. We are up to 22 cannons. There's another Stargate going down there. Has one more gateway up there, which isn't quite in the warp gate, but I'm sure that's going to happen pretty quick as well. I will tell you that the Red Sox did win 12-2, up 1-0 in the ADLS matchup there. So look pretty good. They are playing Tampa Bay. It is just round 1, game 1, so up 1-0 in that one. They were the home team. We'll carry home team advantage if they get through to the finals. So we'll just sit back and relax. Both these guys not too intent on moving out at all here. We're just going to kind of build up the best we can here. There's a few void rays on the map. Still at 22 cannons. Take a look at the good old units tab. You can see this 3 boys, 3 stalkers, 6 Zealots, 2 sentries. So very good mix. To the 2 tanks, 11 marauders, 35 marines, and 4 medevacs. So both these guys looking pretty skookum early in this game. Do have the ground armor level 1 coming, as well as the stim pack. And 7 more cannons on the go, putting us up to 29 total. There's an 8th one going down there, so he's going to have himself up to 30 cannons. Is getting another supply depot down here, so very well done. Has prevented himself from getting a supply box. Still hasn't realized that he should be rallying these command centers the second they finish building, because he does have another standing SCV there, and he's ready to move out. He's feeling pretty comfortable at this point, and he should be. He's got a pretty good army. They're fairly even. There's 12 on there now, so doing a pretty good job. 12 SCVs working off of that 1 gas up there. Might want to start directing a little bit of them off, as he only has 6 mining the minerals. So that's definitely not helping. A couple more SCVs. Man, this guy's going to lead for idle SCVs. Or SCVs not doing the right thing. There we go. It is time to move this baby out, or at least it looked like it is. They all balled themselves up here. In the meantime, it looks like we are going out to build ourselves a 4th. So very good job by Barcode here. Going to get a good macro game going out of him. There we go, right back over here. We do have ourselves 32 cannons, a good Marine Marauder army. Maybe want to get about two, maybe even 3 more medevacs in there to help support that, to get enough healing power for you. If we take a look up here, still no reactor or no rally point of that. Very interesting. Still sitting on 12 workers going there. I did realize this one. He has manually been moving them, so very well done. Almost has his fully saturated on the minerals, has 20 going. Here's some transferring ones. Where did they transfer from? I hope not that base. Nope. Up here, very well done. Yes, he almost has finished mining out the very main base of his. And he is actually going to head over here for another expansion. So, I mean, Symbols isn't looking that bad. A few little mistakes here and there, things that he could do better, but we can all do things better, that's for darn sure. So, he's not doing a bad job at all here, I will say that. Let's catch a transferring probe. Nicely done there. Very good kill. We'll give you that one, Symbols. He's going to try and move in here, see what kind of damage he can do. We are up to 32 cannons. We are going to stim, and we're going to run our arse in there. Here we go, boys. Let's see if he's got enough for this. He's going to start wreaking havoc on this base here. I'm not too sure if there's much that Barcode can do over this one, as he is right in there and just going to work here. Observers coming over there. They're watching everything go down. Void Ray's finally come in here. Not a very big Void Ray army. Wow. It looks like Barcode could be in a lot of trouble. Has a few Tempests at the back here. Don't know if it's going to be enough, though. These things are just cleaning house. They're taking out the Voids left, right, and center. Going to work on the Zealots that are down there. Doing a decent job on every little thing they can on the ground here. A lot of Marauders in there. Marine count's going down very heavily here. So definitely not going to help, as well as these Tempests in the background will continue to survive. It looks like Barcode's going to clean this up quite easily. So very well done. Did take a loss of a bunch of pylons and cannons, but overall actually won that battle very decently. He does have a few more Marine Marauders stand out the other end here. We'll clean up on the last of these medevacs here. Very well done. Cleans up every last bit of that army. So very well done by Barcode, but at the same time there, he's going to have to rebuild a lot of those cannons, try and get that cannon count back up. But one is back up to 32 already, so not too shabby. quickly over here. He's got cannon. Wow, just a big line of cannons going on over here. A lot of his. He's got a few auto probes too, built pylons and kind of stood around. Here we go. Marine Marauders are stacking up one more time, and is going to bring some tanks along for the ride this time and make that army a little bit more efficient on the ground damage. Really needs to start getting himself out some counter to the air, maybe a lot more Marines or something like that, or it could start getting into some Thors or some Vikings. Finally has tech labs on the starport here, so not sure what he plans on doing with those. If he wants to go into Banshee or maybe wants to go into a battle cruiser type build, we'll have to just wait and find out here. No fusion core down as of yet. And what is he building here? He's building another star. Wow, 4 starports. So he's really going into the air, and it does look like battle cruisers. There's the fusion core. So very decent job getting another starport down as well. Wowzer. So definitely wants to get into a very heavy battle cruiser type army. In the meantime, there it does look like Barcode is building himself up another base yet. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases total. Opponent at the same time keeping up with him. He's got 4 bases here, or at least building a 4, so looking pretty skookum there. Ground upgrades, 2 upgrades. Very impressive. I am going to give you that. That is very decent for upgrades. We do have 1 for air and none for the ground as far as Barcode goes here. He brings in some more Marines / Marauders. And does look like he has a bunch of transferring probes, which will head their way across the map as well. So he's ready to move the army a little bit closer to the other base there. That way he can at least try and fend it off if he does get an attack happening over there. So he is all sieged up in the middle, just kind of holding his ground at this point. No upgrades for the vehicles as of yet. In the meantime, over here we do have a warp-in pylon as well, so that's definitely going to help with the proxy. And take a look up here. Just continue with the Marine Marauder, doing a very decent job. Finally has 14 workers on there. Still hasn't realized that he has 13 on the 1. So 13 is the new high count for him off the 1. Couple hiding. They're hiding back there. Like, no, I don't want to work. I'm just going to hide in behind this assimilator here. Good job, guys. Just keep your hidden. He's fully saturated, too. Very good job on the saturation. I will say his macro game is decent. Just got to pay more attention to how many guys he's got in certain locations for SCVs. So he does finish off his 4th base, so we'll look to get that nicely saturated at some point in time, I would have to imagine. And other than that, he's doing a pretty decent job. He's got enough production structure, so still has standing SCV over here. Does realize that has happened, so we'll put a barracks over there. Very well done. And do we have the BC time? It is time for battle cruisers here. Battle cruisers coming out of his yin yang here. Take a look at the production tab. Does have 3 in total ready to come out. Turret count is up to 45, or cannon count, I guess you can call it. They should just have the same name for every turret. There we go. We are going to plant down some more random cannons just to keep our count up there. Very well done. So in the meantime there, I would have to imagine he's going to start saturating this base. Barcode does have an observer over there, so does realize exactly what's going on there. And he's looking to saturate the middle with his cannons here as well. So he's planting down pylons all across the middle of the map here. Looking pretty good. Maybe walling off winter from summer over here. As you can see, it does get to winter as you get up here. These guys are a little bit cold. Have to dress warm. That's for damn sure. And taking a look up here, BCs have hit the map. Let's see what he wants to do with them there. No upgrades on the battle cruisers as of yet. Still has a bunch of idle SCVs here and there. But it happens to the best of us. 21 out of 24. Still has the 2 that are hiding in behind that refinery. And there we go. Now he does see that there are carriers on the map here. Carriers are going to work on the rock wall. Not entirely sure why he's taking that out, or unless he wants to expand up there. Opponent did come over here, probably looking to expand, but does realize that he can't do so, as the cannons do end up taking him out. So those rocks will slowly finish, and it does look like the opponent wants a piece of this. He's going to start moving out here. Tanks start coming with him, though. He just wants pretty much all the anti-air units he has. Puts a scan over there, sees how many cannons are over there. We were up to 58. Got to remember the count on that. We'll try and take out the pylon at the front. Just needs to take out the pylon on the back, and that will unpower all those cannons at the front line here. But he'll just take the cannons straight on here. Is shooting away at the interceptors. Of course, needs to target down those carriers. Would probably be his best move, but he's targeting down the Nexus. Very well done getting a Nexus kill. Looking pretty good. Our good man of symbols. You're not doing too shabby. Void Rays will chase him out. Carriers will chase him out. There's a bunch more cannons ready. Whoa, 67. We're up to 68. Lost a few cannons, but still his count is going up there, and he's got a lot more in production. Not looking too shabby. Chases that army right out of there. 195 to 158 as far as the food count goes. So Barcode looking good in this one here. Over here it does look like, once again, no rally points. So he's got a bunch of standing SCVs. Definitely needs to get them on the go. And he's building a bunch of turrets. These 2 have managed to keep themselves out of sight, apparently. They didn't have to build anything. They're still going to stand there. Turret. Wow, just a ton of turrets going down. Maybe he's trying the turret challenge as well. That is a lot. We're up to 78 cannons on this map here. Great big probe line heading across the map everywhere. Long distance mining happening as they're waiting for their Nexus to build. And as far as that goes, where did his army end up going here? There they are. Mothership is going to help this out here. Will definitely help with the cloaking. There's a lot of guys on the ground, a lot of sentries, a lot of stalkers. So he's going to push himself up here, see what kind of damage he can do as he heads up towards the other base that he has here with the carrier. So he's going to hide all up here with his entire army. Very good location for them to sit. There's the long distance mining still happening while that Nexus finishes up. And our cannon count is now up to 80. This could be the new winner, man. He could get up to 100. 100 has been the peak of the day. And it was a very decent game out of Merlin. Fortunately for him, he played against someone that really didn't know what they were doing. But, hey, that always makes the challenge a lot easier, right? So I'll sit back and relax for a little bit. Opponent is running some scans there. Very good scan to see exactly what's over there. So now he knows it is a lot of carriers with a mothership. So he will have to hopefully hotkey his command center so that he can switch over and run a scan very quickly. Does it have a hotkey? Yes, he does. He has both of them hotkeyed. So very well done there. That will definitely help him run a very, very quick scan if needed to be once he gets in that engagement. He will actually have to probably look to expand at some point. As he is going to start to run out of bases here. Look at this. Wow, Barcode is just taking over. He is definitely going to have to start moving around, or at least do something here. Otherwise, Barcode's macro game is just going to annihilate you. Only up by about 300, but at the same time, he owns the majority of the bases. So that's definitely going to make it tough. Still sitting at 80 cannons, so haven't really built any more, and they're ready to move out. Doesn't really have an overly big army here. The rest of his army must be standing around somewhere. He's going to try moving them out here with the one medevac here. Try and get some sort of expansion. We'll get a lot of moving probes there, but they're all going to run on the move command, so it doesn't really do a whole lot. And here we go. He's got one SCV working on the Nexus. Rest of his army's going to come in here. Should be able to kill this before Barcode gets over here. Yeah, easily done. So he will take out this Nexus. Very well done there. Is sitting at 86 as far as the cannon count goes there, so looking pretty good there. We'll kill all of the probes that are trying to get out of there. Not going to work. Kills off the assimilators at the same time here. Still, we'll probably look to fire himself a command center over here. Over here, we do have a Tempest, which is just in range of that turret here and in range of that turret, so he's really going to work here. Forcing the army back here. Is he actually going to try and engage out with this? I don't think that would be the best of maneuvers for him, but it looks like that is exactly what he's doing. Tanks finally unsieged, so they're going to finally help this army out as well. In the meantime there, the battle cruiser count has gotten pretty high there. Still sitting at 13 workers on the one gas. So not too shabby. 88 we are now up to as far as our count goes. And he's actually just going to stand here and let that happen. But the battle cruisers are going to try and get in there and see if they can force some damage on him. No upgrades for his air as of yet. We are at 1-2 for upgrades for Barcode here. And he's ready to start pushing this baby in here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He's just going to go to work. Opponent needs to get in there with the battle cruisers. Well, battle cruisers are killing interceptors at least. 2 of them are going to come out here. Might want to bring the rest of his army over here. That's not going to go overly well for the battle cruiser. It does get them all into a nice little ball. And carrier getting stuck out there with only 1 interceptor left. So these battle cruisers should easily clean this up. There we go. The rest of the army coming in there now. So they're going to look to do a lot of damage. 93 is the cannon count that we are sitting at here. And they're just going to start pushing hard here. Battle cruisers are going to start going down left, right, and center. There's 2 going down. Third one's about to go down here as well. Very decently done here. Needs to get those scans off. There's the scan again. Finally takes out all the battle cruisers. 93 still to count. Gonna go to work on the other battle cruiser here. Only 1 battle cruiser left, but it looks like they're focusing down the command center for some reason. Don't know if that's a misclick, but either way, command center will end up. Oh, doesn't even get the command center down. Command center is down to about 80 hit points. Does take out the last battle cruiser here. This is gonna burn down unless the opponent elects to repair it here. Did bring the Marine Marauder army over here, so they're really starting to try and clean up as best they can here. So 93 was the count we got up to. Does force the Tempest to back off here, but we'll try to clean up some cannons at the same time. So very good job there by this Marine Marauder army. They're doing a fairly decent job, and they should be focusing fire. The Tempest now is exactly what they're doing, trying to get rid of the Tempest. Just so many hit points, so many upgrades. Battle cruisers are coming in at the same time. They're killing a pylon. They finally realize they should be shooting at the Tempest here, and that's exactly what they're going to start doing. See whether or not they can kill him. Kills off 1 of them. Only has 2 left at this point. Should be able to clean up the rest of them here, but there's a lot of cannons helping him out here. So that is definitely a big advantage that he's got here, as these cannons are looking to clean house and just going to work on this army here. It is 1 Tempest and 1 carrier to a bunch of Marines. Does bring a random Void Ray over there for fun, and that Void Ray will obviously go down very, very quickly. Very well done. And he cleans all this up, plus cleans all the cannons up. Looking pretty good on his symbols here. Not too bad. Takes a little bit of his map back here, as he does clean up a little bit in the middle section. In the meantime, there over here, we do have these random carriers that are empty. And a good old Tempest over here as well, just doing some damage on the turret from that long distance range that it has here. Is he building more? Yes, we are sticking with the battle cruisers. We are sticking with battle cruisers and no upgrades. Don't think that's the best. Even Yamato cannon, no Yamato cannon. So very, very interesting. I do say that here, and he is looking to move out here to see what kind of damage he can do on this side of the map, as he finally wants to take care of those Tempests and carriers that are standing over here, just wreaking havoc, or at least the Tempest that was. So we'll focus fire down the first carrier, forces that carrier to back off here. Tempest trying to do as much as it can here. So we'll kill that carrier pretty quickly here. Of course, with no upgrades, it's definitely not going to go overly well for him here. We do have 2 armor upgrades for our good man of Barcode here. And he is back down to 80 cannons here. Like I say, 93 was the peak. Tempest just going to work here. Nobody's killing him here. He might actually end up cleaning up all 4 of these battlecruisers somehow with 1 Tempest. Finally, they turn to the Tempest here. Like I say, with these upgrades, it will take him a little while, but he's doing a very decent job. He's actually taking down at a nice rate. Not too shabby. We'll actually kill off 1 more battlecruiser. 1 more battlecruiser goes down. Wowzer! That's enough for the opponent, apparently. So my congrats go out to you, my good man Barcode. My condolences to you, Symbols. And now for the scoring. This game here was fairly decent. Opponent wasn't the greatest. Didn't really know what he was doing, to be honest with you, but he still did pretty decent. Going to this video here, gonna have to give this video, that's a tough one, you know, really tough to think on. Gonna give it a 4 though. Did pretty decent there, I will say that. So definitely a 4 is gonna go out to Barcode. And starting ourselves with the first man of the name, which is Jaw. Triple did himself a nice little spine core build, pushed to his opponent, beat his opponent with basically straight queen slash spine cores slash a few dogs, but more spine cores than anything. Had 7 spine cores at one point there. Gonna give that game a 3. McMerlin, you did see him. He played against an opponent that really didn't know what he was doing, but got himself 100 turrets and really took over, made the map kind of fun, or made the game really fun. I enjoyed it very much. I gave that game a 5. We then stepped into a game. I do believe it was with Firewalker next. These might not be in order. Firewalker came out there, was against a lot of Thors, a lot of Vikings. The opponent was actually really good. I will say that. Did a decent job there. But Firewalker still managed to overcome with the Skytoss army. Managed to get himself out 87 cannons at one point in time. So I'm going to give that game a 5. That was a very enjoyable game. Most of that very challenging for him. Wasn't easy by no means. And Hash Browns did get out there. Once again, Skytoss. Everybody seemed to like Skytoss armies this game here. Got himself up to 63 cannons, so not a whole ton out there, but not too bad. Gonna give that game a 4 as well. Now, Bricks, once again, our Skytoss army did a decent job there. Was fairly challenging for him. Did get 68 out at one point in time. Gonna give him a 4. And Viddy, the leader man, had himself, once again, our Skytoss army, but got himself up to 93. So he ranked in second as far as his cannon count goes. Went with Skytoss once again. Going to give him a 4. And now for the challenge of next week, which will come on October 11th. It will be no defensive structures. So there will be no turrets, no cannons, no spore crawlers, no spine crawlers, no bunkers, no photon overcharge, no guardian shield, no force field, and no transfusion. So keep all that in mind. I will detail it out on the Facebook fan page. Leaving you with this. When you're swatting flies, you're living on a barn, you ain't ever watched a movie at the theater before. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.